Anderson, welcome back. We missed you.
Hola, bienvenidos, and bonjour. This is the BNS podcast. I am Mr. Anderson. Joining me is my anchor, my co-host, my rock, Mr. Corbray.
How's it going, everyone?
Hey, this is the Week 14 recap of NFL football. Jesus Christ, football is almost over. 2 more glorious weeks of action, then they got playoff time, man. You ready for it?
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, of course, with my team being in it, it's getting a little hectic. Little nerves building up as the week progresses.
Are the Ravens in it?
Yeah. They might be fighting for like the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. So fingers crossed, home field advantage, maybe.
I heard a whisper about that, especially on Snapchat.
It's some big news. You see my mini post that I've been telling you about
on Facebook?
No, just Snapchatting you.
You did have some really good posts on Facebook about it. I don't know where you got these pictures from, but it was just...
Dude, it's just from the Ravens website, or the Ravens Facebook page. You just share it.
It's good shit, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into our weekly recap. Cowboys, Bears, this was going on at the time of recording. I called this right, you called this wrong. You are a duck. Fuck you. I was right. 31-24. I don't like the scores that close. I kind of feel like the Bears. No. I feel like the Bears kind of took their foot off the gas when they're up like 31-7. They had a huge lead, and I kind of can't blame them for that. But still, yeah, you got to be careful with that. Letting them come that close. As a Panthers fan, we know all about losing close games and letting the other team come back and get a chance. But, Mitch Trubisky looking fantastic. We were talking about that last week. This was like the Mitch Trubisky everyone expected all season, and he's really been performing. One thing is I love seeing from him the most was when he tucks and runs, almost the way Aaron Rodgers does. It's really smart. When they don't see anything downfield, pressure's coming, and he just takes off 10 plus yards, it's a really great way to gash the defense and get a first down when you need to. He had some incredible throws that game, throwing into double coverage multiple times and somehow not getting picked and still completing a pass. He really just looked fantastic that game. I wasn't surprised they beat Cowboys. They are going for Donkey Brain Team of the Year, but it's fantastic. Did you see that? Did you see all the game? How much did you watch?
None of it.
None of it. Fantastic. This is great. This is great for the podcast. I caught pretty much all of it. This was I almost said Thanksgiving game. I thought it was, but Yeah, this is a pretty interesting game to watch. Just for a Thursday night game, it's actually a good one for a change. But there was a simultaneous catch between Allen Robinson and one of the Cowboys defenders, and that's an interesting play because apparently the rule is whenever both the offense and defense catch the ball at the same time, the offense is always given the catch. So that was just a funny little rule thing. I don't know about that, but yeah, fair enough. Whatever. Gets the play done. Cowboys just terrible tackling, play calling here and there, but the Bears were able to get pressured, get Dak Prescott out of the pocket, which seems like all you have to do to beat the Cowboys. I don't know. The Bears' run defense is pretty solid. Zeke is still Zeke. He had a really good game against them, but I don't know. You can't fault the Bears too much. Zeke is he's really hard to contain, but yeah. I think this is Mitch Trubisky's game, man. This was his game. He led the charge and he got it done. You need to in these tight spots. 2-6-6 teams heading off, but yeah, good game all around. You have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch any of this game, but I just, I catch news stories and stuff like that throughout the week and stuff like that. I did, you did mention about Mitch Trubisky, getting out in space and running the ball a little bit more, which, I feel like he did that last year, and I believe obviously his rookie year when he kind of had to do it, but I think that's kind of what the Bears probably need him to do more.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has done as much this season, is getting him to roll out, play action, roll out, and then finding, either taking off with his legs or finding someone, looking downfield and stuff like that. So I think he did a good job in that game as far as that's concerned. He is getting a little bit better. I don't think the defenses he's been playing has been all that great, but still you want to win these games that you probably have a chance to, and he's been able to do that. So I do give him credit there. So, but
you want to build that confidence, especially in your quarterback. I mean, no matter even if you're playing easy teams, you want to. Yeah, that confidence is everything in a quarterback. When they're feeling it, then the whole team feels it again. I mean, it's the leader of the team, so he needs to be doing well. So despite him having easy matchups against defense, he's been picking things. He's been cleaning up at the end of the year. Are they out of playoff contention?
No, they are not. They are
in the
actually
hunt.
two games back of Minnesota. They have to win this week, and Minnesota has to eventually lose one or two games or something like that. It's a lot to ask for, but it is possible. They are still
Minnesota has been known for this year for losing close games, even though they've had some really tough opponents, but still you gotta win those close games, Minnesota. Let's move on to the Colts Bucks 38-35. Turned out to be a really good game. Two of the worst pass defenses in the league. Colts are actually middle of the pack. The Bucks are ranked 31st, I believe, in pass defense. However, they are the number one ranked rush defense in the league right now. You can believe that. I think allowing teams an average of 75 yards a game, which is just unbelievable. But when your pass defense is just that atrocious, and you got someone as good as Jacoby Brissett, he's just going to tear you up. And Jameis actually did the same. He still was Jameis Winston. He threw interceptions, but he got it done. He threw 3. A few of them weren't his fault. They kind of got tipped in the interceptions.
Oh, God. Still, he just slings it too much.
He does. It's fun to watch him. He's a gunslinger in the worst way, but he has so many weapons on that team. And
Mike
Evans. Yes, I had a bet with someone that Mike Evans would outperform DJ Moore, and I kind of wonder, or maybe it was Metcalf. Either way, he had that one touchdown, 65-yard touchdown, and came up cramping in his hamstring. But
he's out for the
year.
I just saw that.
Holy shit.
Yep, out for the year.
Oh my God, that's a killer. I mean, they weren't going anywhere anyway, but still, it's terrible.
They've won 3 in a row, I think, haven't they?
That sounds right. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, beat the Jags last week. Good for them. Beat the Falcons.
Yeah, Jameis threw a pick for a touchdown, throwing 3 picks. I think he's had 25 picks on the air. He's awesome, man. Let
me see. I had the stat here. Yeah, 26 touchdowns with 23 interceptions. That's almost a 1-for-1 ratio with touchdowns for interceptions. That's like my Madden quarterback, when I'm starting out. I'll throw 100 touchdowns a year, but there'll be 100 interceptions, and it's kind of I don't know about that, but Yeah, sucks. I can't believe the Colts lost that game. Do you remember who we picked? I don't really.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we were kind of like leaning toward the Bucks. We just you just don't know if like Jameis Winston, if his mistakes are gonna be way too detrimental for the Bucks, or if they're not. Then you know he's gonna make them, but you're just like, are they really gonna cost him all that much, or what's the deal? I think that was really a kind of a close game to call either way.
I want to say we picked the Bucks, but I don't know.
Yeah,
have to
I think
check
we
out
could have
the
leaned the other
report.
way. That was a toss-up game, I thought, in my opinion. I mean, just the Colts being so depleted. I mean, I said that he was out for the year last podcast, but he did play in that game. But Hilton's been hurt. A bunch of players for them.
And Jacoby's still getting it done, man. It's really impressive. Throwing to people like Pascal. The commentators called him Ageless Amendola. So I thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, I guess that's right, man. That'd be a cool nickname. Anyway, let's move on. Ravens Bills. I'll let you take this one, man. You watched all of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I watched every bit of it. Just great defensive battle, man. I mean, Lamar Jackson didn't quite get in a rhythm and stuff like that. I mean, credit to the Bills defense. They're a heck of a team as far as like stopping the run.
They're no joke.
And Mark Andrews did come out in the game, I believe early in the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Anything serious?
I don't know. I might have to look at that. I don't know how serious the injury is. I think maybe they were probably just doing it as precautionary reason. But the Hayden Hurst, their first round pick before Lamar Jackson
Haley Hurst.
2 years ago. What?
Haley Hurst.
No, Hayden.
No, Haley.
Hayden Hurst. All right.
Their mom thought they were having a daughter.
I get what you're saying.
They thought they were having a daughter.
Right. And Hayden Hurst had a big touchdown in that game, so he stepped up. I believe he led the team in receiving yards. There wasn't much. I mean, the Ravens don't really pass it all that often anyways, and as far as to receivers are concerned, they're probably the lowest in that category. But Hurst stepped up under Andrews' injury, and the Ravens did a great job defensively. Just getting to Josh Allen, I forget how many sacks. It was probably close to 5. They probably could have had a lot more. And Josh Allen, usually gets it done with his feet as well as his arm if he needs to, but more so that dual threat mentality really helps him out. But he wasn't able to get that done against the Ravens. They were all over him, and that's really the reason why the Ravens have done so well recently, is just because the defense has stepped up and we're able to get to the quarterback a lot more.
Early in the year, man, you guys were suffering. Your pass defense was pretty bad, man. They're getting lit up by some good quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, you guys have been ever since that Patriots game.
Well, I just before that Patriots
when Peters came back.
Right. Well, Peters was traded the week of the Seattle game, which was before the Patriots game, and he had an interception against Russell Wilson for a touchdown. And also before the Patriots game, we had a bye week, so we were able to get some players back from injury. Jimmy Smith, I believe Brandon Williams was hurt for that time period. I mean, just a lot of players that were kind of down, and so we were able to get some healthy players, and I think that's really been the key as far as our defense stepping up against these big opponents, and that's the reason why we are where we are right now.
Yeah, what a game, man. It was a close game. Really, I'm sure you were nervous there at a lot of points. They thought the Bills could do it. They almost did, man. Jesus, 17-24.
Let them down the field that last drive, and holy shit, God damn it. You really going to let them march down the field because of your ass? Like, they didn't do anything because Josh Allen was getting pressured every goddamn time he dropped back and threw the ball, so.
Yeah, well, good game, good win, good close win. Can't have enough of those.
Take it.
Lions, Vikings, 7-20. We both picked the Vikings. Not too much of a surprise. The Vikings D-line is just a monster of a D-line, especially against when Blau is having to go up against like Daniil Hunter, Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, some all-pro players. Recorded 5 sacks in the game, I believe. That's a really tough test for Blau. Good for the Vikings. I mean, Vikings are just a different animal at home. Low-scoring game for them. I really expect them to score a lot more, but the win's a win.
Yeah, I think if they just clean up their secondary, I think they'll be a lot better. I think, like you said, their front seven's pretty stout, but I think their weakness in the defense is definitely their secondary. So we'll keep an eye on that once playoff time comes, or when they have to play Green Bay again later in the season. But
Thielen is out for the season, is that right?
I believe I thought he was trying to make a comeback last week, and I don't remember if he played in the game or not. Would he?
I don't know if he should, man, risk further injury, because he is so injury prone, man. And
well, this season in general, I think he's had just some freak ones. I think he had a concussion after banging into the wall.
But yeah, ESPN says Thielen is likely to return Sunday. Okay. Redskins Packers 15-20. Can't believe it was that close. Makes me feel less bad about losing to the Redskins, but still, the Redskins were actually able to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers and force Aaron Jones to take over. Aaron Jones really won this game for him. I think it was 117 rush yards and a touchdown. He really led the charge. 134. Jesus, 134 rush yards and a touchdown. And the Packers got pressure on Haskins. That's kind of all they had to do. But
that didn't take much effort.
Yeah, well, they still put up a fight. Haskins put up a fight.
He's a tough quarterback, dude. Tough.
Seven field goals. Was that Reds? Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
No, you're thinking of a different game. That was who kicked all those field goals? That was the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah, that's terrible. We'll get to that, but Jesus. But yeah, still, Terry McLaurin looking good. I think he's going to be a mainstay for them next year.
Yeah,
maybe
Ohio State guy.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Haskins and McLaurin both go to Ohio State. And there's also been rumors, I know you don't really follow the college football scene all that much, but Urban Meyer, who coached at Ohio State last year, is being talked about as being a candidate there as far as getting the head coaching job. We'll see, but just something to keep an eye on.
Always fun when college coaches come to the big leagues.
Yeah, this would be his first stint. He's won, I think, 2 national championships in his day as a college coach, but it's either 2 or 3. I think it's 2 though.
All right, we'll say it's 2. Let's go on to one of the games of the week. Jesus, Broncos are one of the biggest surprises of the week. The Broncos in Houston upsetting the home favorites. Wow, what a game, man. They really kind of blew those guys out. The score doesn't reflect it enough. The final was 38-24. Drew Lock could be the answer the Broncos were looking for, man. He's been looking fantastic. How much of that game did you see?
I didn't watch any of it, but yeah, Drew Lock is, he didn't have a good first game, but the second game against the Texans, I know the Texans don't have the best defense as like they have in the past, but didn't he throw for over 300 yards with 3 touchdowns, which I believe doesn't happen. I believe I saw something crazy about Blake. Doesn't really happen. He's like the 4th rookie quarterback to ever do that, something like that. But that was a crazy game from the start. I mean, he connected with Noah Fant on a big touchdown. I mean,
connected with him a lot. He was like a leading receiver in the game.
Yeah, just shocking. I can't believe.
Absolutely shocking.
I guess just the defense was just horrible for the Texans. I don't really know how Deshaun did personally. I mean, obviously
Deshaun, despite the challenge, I mean, the Texans, I don't think are a team made for comeback victories. And I feel like, especially because they were down by about 3 touchdowns at one point, and it's really hard.
Was hurt too for part of that game, wasn't he? Didn't he come back though? He was like he got banged up, and then he came back.
Who?
Hopkins.
That's probably right. I wouldn't be surprised. He still showed up though, and he put up some points for him. But yeah, geez, did not. I mean, they jumped out to that big league, and it seemed like it was kind of game over. Deshaun Watson, he did what he could, man. You gotta give him credit. Putting up helping to put up 24 points, but Jesus, Broncos making waves, man. If their record was a little bit better, they might actually have a shot. But I think they're 4 and out of any kind of playoff hopes.
Yeah, I think you just got to keep an eye on him for next year and see if Drew Lock continues, just to see if he can continue to do well the rest of the season, and maybe they might have a quarterback in the future. So that's something to keep an eye on. I think their defenses played a little bit better, and they definitely have a good running game as far as Philip Lindsay and I can't remember their other commentary back. Yes, and so they've definitely got some good pieces there. So just something to keep an eye on next season for sure.
There's hope in the air in Denver.
Absolutely,
Mile High Club.
Yes, sir.
Probably the game of the week, 49ers Saints. Good Lord, man. This is the kind of game you always hope for. No defense, That's not really true, but the game I seen mostly came down to which defense made the biggest plays. And then there were some crucial turnovers, but then there was It's like the 49ers turned it over once and the Saints turned it over. Like, might have been the same drive, but it's a huge, huge game. I can't believe that final drive by the Saints in the last minute. Drew Brees finding Michael Thomas for the go-ahead score, but yeah, you left too much time on the clock, and the Niners came back and they did it off the leg of Robbie Gould.
Well, yeah, but also remember that play from George Kittle after he caught
He
that
was a
ball with his
monster.
face mask and he just kept pushing people. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a fucking beast, dude.
I'm seeing like Gronk, you know,
Could
shades
be.
of Gronk.
Could be. I mean, he's
It was
definitely a
incredible.
talented pass catcher for sure, and he can block too. So
He's
he can do
so
it all.
hard to bring down. There were like 3 people trying to tackle him on that play, man.
Oh yeah, he just kept muscling forward, and they had to grab his face mask to like try to even slow him down, and he was just like, "Fuck that! I'm getting a penalty, and I'll keep going."
I cannot believe 49ers won that. I was really hoping for the Saints because whenever any team starts doing so well, you know, automatically everyone's gunning for you. And I was hoping the Niners would drop out of that one because I definitely think they're going to the Super Bowl this year. But
My team could do it.
they could. But let's move on to the Bengals Browns, one of the poopier games of the week. 27-19. Andy Dalton. Still being Andy Dalton, I don't mean that in a bad way. He threw an interception, 262 yards for no touchdowns, but at least they put up points. They made it close. That's kind of all you can hope for with a 1-12 victory. Browns are a tough defense, so you got to give him some credit for making the score that close. I'm still so shocked that like people like Odell Beckham has not been like a breakout star this year, and even Jarvis Landry didn't do as well as he should have against probably, if not the worst, one of the worst secondaries in the league this year. It's really I don't get why. Maybe Baker doesn't trust OBJ.
I thought the Bengals they don't have a good run defense, as in like they can't stop the run.
No.
They're like worst at stopping the run, which you should be running all over, especially with the Browns with Chubb and who's the other run back? Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
And so that would probably I just expected a little bit more out of the running game. I don't know how much they both did, but I thought they would have probably had a lot more.
Mixon had a good game, 146 yards, a touchdown. But it was really just the goal line or the red zone offense. I think the red zone I think I saw a stat, the Bengals are the worst red zone team in the league. They just can't score in the red zone, and it's tough, especially against that Browns defense who's playing to win. But yeah.
I was going to just mention Beckham Jr. I think he's been dealing with an injury, and I think Baker Mayfield like called out the medical staff and how they've been handling this little nagging injury he's been dealing with for a while. So, you know, just more drama and more yelling from the Browns, you know. But that may be the reason why Beckham hasn't performed as well as many people have thought all season. So.
Yeah, it's crazy to see. But anyway, let's move on to another crappy game of the week. The Panthers in Atlanta to get whooped on by the Falcons 40-20. It's becoming like a tradition losing to the Falcons, man. It's just something we love to do. You know, we like to have fun here in Carolina. We don't care about winning games. Yeah, good lord. Devontae Freeman had a game. Matt Ryan did what he always does against us, man. He threw for plenty of yards, 312, 2 touchdowns. It was an ugly game. I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
unless you do.
Did you hear the comments from Dante Jackson when he was secondary?
No,
so
what did he say?
Well, I think there was I think he was commenting after the game or something like that, and how like the play calling, they ran like an engage 8, which you are familiar with Madden. That's pretty much an all-out blitz, you know.
Like 3 guys in the backfield.
Yeah. So like you're leaving like so many people in the secondary just to cover all those people, and they wound up like throwing this bomb, and he gets like no help, and he's just like, dude, what fucking shitty play calling like by our team. So yeah.
No, we're in rebuilding mode. Good. It's good for us to lose. Like me and Taylor are a resident Panther fan. We need to tank the rest of the season, look for a draft pick. I'm not too worried about it. I like not having to worry about it. My team's doing shit. Yeah, can focus on good football.
All right. Well, that's all I was going to say about
it. Dolphins at Jets. I think we both picked the Dolphins to win this one. I'm surprised they lost.
Man, we're close.
Very, very close.
Due to a pass interference or a non-pass interference call or something. Was it pass? Whatever. Yeah. They think they got hosed on. Brian Flores, the head coach, was kind of irate about that. But Dolphins definitely had a chance. I mean, you gotta score one touchdown to win a game.
Seven field goals. How do you do that? Yeah, I should have picked him up. Could you imagine having your kicker score 21 points in your fantasy game? Good Lord.
Like, you just think, like, he might have had more points than your quarterback at that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's been crazy.
That's pretty embarrassing. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the leading rusher for the Dolphins.
What?
7 carries, 65 yards.
Whew.
Yeah. Patrick Laird was next up, a rookie out of somewhere, I forget where. But he's been making waves for the Dolphins. But yeah, gosh. Yeah, I don't know, I expect the Dolphins to do more. The Jets' defense is not as bad as people think. Their run defense
that's their best part of their team.
Yeah, their run defense is actually one of the best in the league right now. I think the top 5. Oh, number 2, right behind the Bucs. Well, how about that? But yeah, not too much to talk about there. Good for the Jets getting a win. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, one of another blowouts of the week. Chargers, Jaguars. Man, the Chargers need this game.
Austin Eckler, dude, was the fucking story of that game, man. He
was insane, man. Their running game, I think, really did it for him, because if you're running the ball well, especially if the Chargers and the pass games opens up, and especially with all your weapons and Eckler, Gordon, and Allen, and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry's fantastic. Good Lord. One of my favorite picks of this year. He's been getting touchdown almost every game. He's been really, really consistent for them. Hopefully this was a sign for things to come for the Chargers. They need to get their shit together.
Well, I mentioned last week that they lost like either all of them or like if not just one game that wasn't by 7 points or fewer. So like you just had a feeling that, this was going to be a breakout game for him. And obviously Austin Eckler, I mean, over 100 yards receiving and rushing in that game was just
insane, man. Dude, I think I told you before, one of the donkey's brain moves by me this year, I think it was week 1 or 2, and that's so early, so you can't know, and I don't know if this guy knew well, obviously he didn't, but he tried to trade me, Austin Eckler for Damian Williams. Imagine how angry he would have been, like, if I had accepted that, and Damian hadn't been doing shit. Eckler's been a monster. Oh, I was so stupid. I couldn't do it. It was too early.
Yeah.
Can't be blamed.
It's too hard.
I really thought Damian Williams was going to be a fantastic addition to the Chiefs offense. I mean, the Chiefs offense was looking like one of the hottest offense in the league coming into the year, and so I wanted a piece of that. But yeah, well, too bad for Jags, man. I meant you. Damn, I don't know, 10 points. I expected more.
I think they've gotten blown out, within like the last 3 games are over 17 points or more. So that's bad.
That's bad. Lost to the Bucs last week.
Yep.
They probably should be in the donkey brain category.
I kind of expect them to lose. Maybe not like that margin, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to, but just because, we'll get to that. But Chiefs Patriots, another great game this week, 23-16. I read an article about, I glanced at an article, our generation doesn't read anymore.
Right.
Glanced at an article about Brady maybe losing his step, and maybe. Everyone's been hoping for it the past 5 or so years, and he just continues to perform at, 88 years old or whatever. In quarterback terms.
What is he, 43, I think, now? Something like that. No, he just turned 40. He's like 41, isn't he?
I think 1 year in human years is equal to like 7 years in quarterback years, man. And he is just old for
a get touched.
But, it's not the Patriots of yesteryear. They don't have Gronk, which is huge. They don't have a strong running game, and Chiefs got pressure on Brady. I feel like the score should have been higher for the Chiefs. I feel like they should have won by more just because Mahomes, he was getting pressured by the Patriots, but he was still able to scramble, make some fantastic completions to people like Mecole Hardman, and too many weapons on the Chiefs for the Patriots defense to contain. And they're getting pressure on a quarterback, which usually is the answer against a quarterback like Mahomes, but still, Mahomes looking good, man. Chiefs are in my top 5 this week. Moving up, actually.
Yeah, they're looking good. I still got to see it a little bit more out of them. I don't think they blew the doors off. I mean, it is a great defense, so they did play against the Patriots. So I guess I shouldn't set the bar so high for Mahomes. But I think really the big thing in that game, I don't know if you saw the costs. I guess the referees hosing the Patriots. I did see one of them was that fumble recovery that I guess they had ruled the ball dead or whatever, and they would have had an easy scoop and score all the way to the end zone. So I probably hosed them. And I forget another call that really got to him.
Who would have had the scoop and score?
I don't remember. Someone on the Patriots defense, but it was it was hard to tell. Like in real time, I was like, I thought it was just an incompletion or whatever the case may be, or I thought he was actually down, and then all of a sudden, like they show the replay, and he was clearly out. The ball was clearly out before the knee went down, and like he could have easily. I mean, it would have been easy, scoop and score kind of deal. It's easy.
Did you see that play by the Browns against the Bengals? They picked up a fumble, and then I think it was Jackson, I want to say, and he was getting held, he was getting slowed down, but he hands the ball off to another player on the defense. Or no, he handed it off to Jackson, I think, and Jackson ran it back for a touchdown. It was just one of those like funny plays you rarely get the chance to see, and it was a great play by the Browns. I started them last week, rightly so. Did you catch that play?
Nope.
Okay, well, I know. It was a good play. I'm sure you'll see it in the highlight eventually. But yeah, let's move on to the Titans Raiders. Jesus, 42-21, man. I started watching when they're all tied up at 21. Like, all right, another exciting game to watch. And then bam, man, Titans just roll with it. How much of that game did you catch?
I was watching the first half easily, and then, like I said, I fell asleep during probably the fourth quarter of all the rest of the 4 o'clock games. But
you had a big day.
That was before. I mean, the Titans were already kind of pulling away from the Raiders at that point, so I was like, no need to understand what happened there. I think, the big thing was, how well Tannehill's just doing,
Good
dude.
Lord, man.
If he could be an MVP candidate just based on like what he's done for the Titans, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What a change of scenery will do for a quarterback like that, because I thought Tannehill, I kind of wrote him off and put him in, I blamed him as much as I blamed the Dolphins back when he was with them and how bad they're doing, but maybe it just was the team and the scheme.
Yeah,
I mean, well, and you got to give credit to Derrick Henry, man. He has been just a monster.
Just a great complimentary piece.
Jesus
like someone
Christ.
You can just rely on.
He
played. Didn't he play hurt through the game, and also just still got over 100 yards? Like I think he was like limping through majority part of that game. Was like he still got over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. AJ Brown, man, fuck, I was I never would have done it last week, which honestly I should have. Speaking of my fantasy hopes, but naturally you want to win in fantasy, but in hindsight, because now I have to play the last ranked team, which is actually the best team in the league, in my opinion. The team that has Zeke, Fournette, and Dalvin Cook, not to mention like Travis Kelce and some really Jesus, he drafted fantastic. And Aaron Rodgers is quarterback.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get hosed first week of the playoffs, but
good.
Yeah. You say good?
Yeah, I know I said you could.
Oh, good. Fuck you. Yeah, I flirted with the idea of picking up AJ Brown last week, but in reality, I should have tanked that last week in hopes that I would become the 2nd seed and not have to play the stacked team week 1 of the playoffs. Made it an easier matchup in week 16, yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm sure you're just waiting with bells on to hear.
To know, bated breath.
Yeah. There you go. How well my fantasy team is doing this year. I mean, it's the best I've ever done in fantasy. I think I'm 11-3 this year. It's fantastic. Anyway, back to the Titans and the Raiders. Raiders made my donkey brain this week. Losing by that much, Jesus Christ! And they were doing good, man. 21-21. They had a chance to win this game, but they just couldn't. The Titans' defense is no joke, man. As it turns out, they're actually pretty solid. They've never been horrendous, at least like not in recent years, but they've been picking things up, I feel like.
They got a defensive coach in Mike Vrabel, who's remember Super Bowl years with the Patriots.
That's the name you know. Even
pass
if you
catcher
don't know
in backfield sometimes. He's great.
Yeah, you got to give credit where it's due. 42-21. That's just oof. Moving on to Steelers Cardinals. Steelers at Cardinals 23-17. The Steelers just will not quit. I bet you check those shorts. I got a hog that won't quit either.
God, yeah, they can't go away. But like, I give credit to Mike Tomlin, man. I mean, he's probably gonna win Coach of the Year. I fucking hate saying that. No, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if he's not, I think he's definitely runner up. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, just losing Ben Roethlisberger to start off, what was it, week 1 or it was week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, Le'Veon Bell gets whatever, I know but he's just basically, I think what's really helped him win is all the knuckleheads are out of the locker room. And so, like, he can focus in on coaching the team.
I mean,
and, the biggest thing he has to worry about is some guy named Duck. The quarterback.
I mean, you saw the Bleacher
Report. I did. That was my
perfect.
Line.
Like Tomlin sitting in the locker room, like, he's in quiet. They had empty Antonio Brown locker and empty Le'Veon locker. I'm sure that's exactly what's going through his mind.
He was like, "This is the crazy shit I got to deal with. All right, I'm good."
I can't believe he dealt with those egos and those players, man. Props to him for that. Jesus, you got to give props to him for dealing with such volatile players.
I'm afraid like that was kind of like his downside was like I felt like he was too much of a player's coach and like they kind of overtook him. And now like, he's cleaned this whole team out with like all the knuckleheads. Like he's been able to coach this team and that defense has been really good. I mean, this is the reason why they're winning. It's not like they're doing great as far as running the ball. They've been
3 interceptions.
Schuster as well. I mean, it's been a shit show offensively for him as far as who comes in.
I can't believe the Cardinals have been doing so bad all year. I expected them to at least be more of a 6-6 team, but Jesus, they had some tough games, man. They had some tough opponents.
Still young though, and you got a tough division. And then Murray, I mean, he's like I said, he's still trying to figure it out. He threw 3 interceptions. He looked probably more like a rookie than I've ever seen him in that game. There was one interception where like he could have clearly ran the ball for like I think it was they were in the red zone, and like I think he could have picked up another first down. If not, he could have probably scored. But like he decided to throw the ball and he threw it so off. And like when he should have taken off and run it. I mean, it was like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was an ugly game for him. The baby Bleacher Report meme of him is absolutely accurate. He's still so young in the league. He has stuff to learn. Yeah. But good for him, man. They could have won that game, so that's at least you got that. But yeah, one of the worst games, or another one of the biggest surprises of the week. Jesus, Seahawks getting blown out by the Rams, 12-28. And we've said this before, man. It's almost donkey brained of the Rams to win some of these games. Like I did not expect this from them. 28-12. Geez, I can't believe it. They got pressure on Russell Wilson though. I mean, that's kind of the key to beating any good quarterback.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, I mean, I think it was kind of crazy, after losing Monday night against the Ravens that bad. And it was just like, you would think that the Rams, like, they would have been sunk. Like, they wouldn't have any life in them. They wouldn't have been able to do anything, as far as winning. But they've won 2 games where their offense has actually performed really well. I mean, Jared Goff is rolling out of the pocket a little bit more, and they're relying on Gurley a little bit more like they have been. And it's been a little bit of a transformation as far as that offense is concerned. And they still have a shot. I mean, they still can make the playoffs, but, at least what they're doing, they're not dying. They're not giving up and dying. So, gotta give credit to the Rams there.
Can't with the team they have, and they're still in the hunt. So, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do next week against the Cowboys in Dallas, but we'll get to that when we get to our pick'ems. Last game of the week, kind of garbage time, really, for NFL for Week 14 football.
Yep.
17-23, Eagles come out on top. Neither of us watched this game. Neither of us wanted to watch this game.
Yeah.
2 really poopy teams. Eagles were expected to be in the Super Bowl this year, but you gotta recognize they're plagued with injuries and
too many.
Yeah, good lord, they're still in the hunt though, man. They could win their division. That's so crazy. Can't the Panthers just switch over to their division for a few years, man? Good lord.
Everybody wished they could. Yeah, that was just I think the Eagles. I swear to God, they were down to their last available receiver. And
really,
they were like using 3 tight end sets. They were like Miles Sanders was having to catch. I feel like their backup quarterback was like gonna be slotted as the next receiver if someone else went down.
Look at those: Boston Scott, Dallas Goedert, Joshua Perkins, Greg Ward Jr.
Yeah, like who the
listen
fuck
to
are these
this.
people?
Check out this name, man. JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
All right, there you go. That was pretty good. I don't know if you're right about that, but that sounded good.
No, that's the name.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Hingle McCringleberry. Yeah, they're pulling out all the stuffs. Ugh.
But yeah, just the Giants jumping out to a 17-3 lead, and everybody was like, "Oh, this could be Eli Manning's swan song," and he could come out and ride off in the sunset just on a good note. And well, he's probably gonna retire at the end of the year. That's my guess. But
he better. And
then the Eagles just somehow found a way, came back, and I don't know, just winning every time and keep their playoff hopes alive. I don't know how the fuck they're doing it, but
6-7 tied for the lead with the Cowboys. Ugh, it's such one of the worst divisions in the league.
Dog shit.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go into our top 5, huh?
Sure.
All right, so yeah, our top 5s haven't changed too much since last week. People moving up and down, but no new additions for me. We got the Ravens number 1, Niners 2, Chiefs moving up to 3 after they beaten the Patriots. Saints still at 4. They should have beat the Niners. They could have. A very close game. Can't count them out. I feel like the Saints will be moving up maybe to the number 3 spot. Depends on how well the Chiefs do next week or if they do well. I got a tough test on the Broncos. And number 5 spot, I got the Seahawks. Hate to see them lose that game, and I want to take them out of the top 5, but I just don't think you can count them out just yet. So that's my top 5.
Yeah, I mean, our top 2 similar. It's not going to change as far as anything is concerned because, the Ravens beat the Niners a couple weeks ago, so that's 1 and 2. 3, I'm still giving it to the Saints. I mean, you only lost by 2 points against the Niners,
Man,
down
it was a
to
toss-up
last
that
second.
game, yeah.
So I don't move them anywhere. I just keep them at number 3. I'm trying to figure out where I want to keep the Seahawks. This was not the best loss, or this is not the best loss. I kind of want to move the Patriots out of my top 5 altogether. I don't know.
They're still out about it.
I'm going with the Seahawks number 4 and then the Chiefs at 5.
Jesus, Chiefs at 5 after beating the Patriots. Cold-hearted bastard, Hunter.
It's just, the Texans beat the Patriots. Look what the Texans did. It's just, I gotta see more of the Chiefs. I think that they can be a top 5 team. They could even be a top 3 team, but I gotta see just a little bit more. I think they're improving. Their defense is doing a lot better, but I gotta have the Seahawks. I think that was kind of a fluke game. I think. I don't know, but the Seahawks have been there longer than the Chiefs as far as my top 5, so I'm gonna keep it number 4 and then the Chiefs at number 5.
Okay. I think you'll see plenty of the Chiefs next week, and good sample tests against the Broncos. That'll be a good test for them, especially Broncos coming off such a huge win.
Sure.
But yeah, so just run through it real quick. Ravens, Niners, Chiefs, Saints, Seahawks, and then you have Ravens, Niners, Saints, Seahawks, and Chiefs.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Chiefs should be higher, but anyway.
They probably will be. Just gotta wait.
And we'll do our Donkey 5 right after. So you're right up with the best of the best and coming up the worst of the worst. And like we were talking about earlier, it's really hard for me to pick my Donkey 5 this week. Not too many teams or games that were not too many games that were donkey brained teams to win or lose. A lot of close games. But yeah, you have to pick a Donkey 5. So Cowboys leading the charge, losing to the Bears. They should have won that game. Still donkey brain, going for donkey brain of the year. Number 2, we have the Texans getting blown out like that to the Broncos. You can't do that. Texans D is nothing to look at, but still, you can't lose that game, man. You got to win those. Next up, we have the Raiders also getting blown out by the Titans. Titans are a good team behind Tannehill, surprisingly, at 8-5. Good lord. Actually, looking at a playoff spot, but yeah, Raiders, you got to put up more points than that. You guys had a chance to win, and it just all fell apart. So that's donkey brain to them. There's some new additions to the donkey category this week. Number 4, we have the Colts, another new addition. You could have beat the Bucks. Basically, that's some only reasoning for that. It was a really close game. I really hate to put the Colts there, especially with what Jacoby Brissett has been doing this year. No one expected much from him or the Indianapolis Colts, but they've been pulling off good wins. This is a close loss, so you can't give them too much crap for that. But at number 5, first time ever on the BNS podcast, we have a team in the top 5 and the Donkey 5. Seahawks, number 5. Hate to do it, but Jesus, you gotta win that game against the Rams. And this was such a huge game, especially for your playoff hopes and seeding and whatnot. Because the Rams are 8-5 now, Seahawks dropped to 10-3. Could have huge implications for the playoffs for the Seahawks and the Rams. But yeah, so those are my Donkey 5. Let's go ahead with yours.
Just moving 1 and 2 to get 1 and 2, flip flopping them. The Texans. After you beat the Patriots, you should be able to come out there and you played the game at home. I mean, Jesus Christ, you got the home crowd's behind you. You just shit the bed. I mean, early
Texans
on,
are number 2.
They got killed.
Texans are your number 2.
No, they're number 1.
Really? Over the Cowboys?
You got to win that game at home.
Yeah.
They get blown out like that in the first half. Like, you got to show something, dude. Like,
Okay.
that was shit.
Fair enough.
But I can move the Cowboys at number 2. At this point, like I become so numb to like them being the Donkey 5 and just like, okay, they're there. I don't give a shit much about them. Like I've kind of expected them, like where like they're not even the Donkey 5 anymore. Like they're just
that
like,
makes sense.
This is what I expect.
I mean, to be in the Donkey 5, it's not. You have to be able to win games, or you should be able to win games. Teams that are like 1-11 aren't Donkey 5. Because it's not Donkey brain them to lose a game, but
right, because everybody expects it. But yeah, the criteria kind of changes. It kind of just depends on the week for me, really. But,
exactly. This is a tough week for the Donkey 5. Yeah, it was more so just who didn't show up to play kind of stuff. But
right, for the games more so than anything. The Cowboys, I guess just move them in there just because they're always there, and you just got to win that division. I mean, the Eagles are giving it to you. It's like take it there, and they just like fucking.
It's a game of hot potato. Who wants it? Who wants to go to playoffs?
That's a good analogy.
Not me. Said the Eagles. Jesus.
But
number 3.
Number 3. Shoot, this is tough. Once it gets to this point, it gets pretty tough. I would have to say the Seahawks, to be honest with you. Just based on the fact that, you gotta at least put up a better showing. I mean, granted the Rams might have beaten you, but you gotta put up a better showing than that. I mean, you got, like you said, like jockeying for position, you gotta try to win and try to, play playoff games at home as much as possible and, try to at least fight for that top spot in the NFC and get home field advantage throughout, and you just kind of laid an egg here. But the Rams are looking better, so I can't fault them too much for it. But still, 3.
I would I would probably amend my Donkey 5. I like what you're saying there. I'm gonna go ahead and move my guy.
All right.
On the fence for the Seahawks are gonna go to number 3. That makes a lot of sense. It was a huge game to lose by that much. That's pretty donkey brain, man. They got outplayed though. I mean, but yeah, I'm kind of biased with the Seahawks. But anyway, go ahead with your number 4.
I'll go with, I know that they haven't won a game since like week 4 or whatever the fuck it was for the Giants, but you jump out to a 17-3 lead and you blow it in overtime with the Eagles offense that just doesn't have anybody healthy. So I'm putting them at number 4. I'm trying to find like games where like, you should have at least probably won during the game. But I'll put them at number 4. Number 5. I would have to say the Dolphins. I mean, you can't get one touchdown. 7 field goals, can't get one touchdown.
Wow.
All you need to do was get that to get a win.
It's incredible. I like that. Like the Dolphins number 5 for that. It makes sense.
So that's the top 5. That's the top 5 for Donkey Bottom
5, you'd say. But okay, then I guess we'll go ahead into our weekly pick'ems. Very anxious to talk about this. We got some good games this week.
Yeah, pretty good, interesting matchups.
And we'll just try and stick to our rapid fire weekly pick'ems, because mainly the point of that is to not think about it too much, Just
not to.
But anyway, Jets Ravens, not much to think about there. It's a home game for you guys. Like you were saying, you guys need an easy game this year. You've had a lot of tough games in recent.
Yeah, we need a break.
Yeah, you need a thing for just Lamar to, sit on the bench and let RG3 or whatever have a shot at it again. Shit, why not?
Lamar's dealing with a quad injury, and he's been limited as far as practice is concerned. So just something to keep an eye on. If RG3 could win this game, just starting the game, I would be all for it, but I'm not taking that kind of chance. So it's always interesting a Thursday night game, but yeah, ultimately I think the Ravens will win at home.
Well, you need to, man. Gotta clinch that first round bye, you know.
Yeah, need as many wins as possible. It's still crazy, but the division is not sealed yet.
Mm-hmm. I know, and the Patriots are still 10-3, so you gotta worry about them. Chiefs could come up if you or the Patriots drop a game. So yeah, everything to play for.
Yep.
It better be a blowout. The Jets.
I hope so. I hope that I don't have to fucking stress out too much about this game. I shouldn't have to.
Well, you only have to really worry about the Jets' run defense. Their pass defense is kind of middle of the road, so yeah, nothing to worry about. I'm not worried. I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah, not too worried, but that's just me being a fan. So being extra worried for no reason.
Bears at Packers.
Yeah, Packers. I gotta see a breakout game from Aaron Rodgers though. Aaron Rodgers is not the really breakout game since like the Raiders game, but
he had a good game a few weeks ago. I think it was like 4 pass touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. He had a good game last week. I mean, Jesus. Well, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
You rely on Aaron Jones, that's fine. As long as you get the win, I don't care.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'd have to go with Packers, too. Should be a fight, man. It's always interesting between these two teams. I think it was like their, 500th meeting or something like that. Yeah. I know that's not right, but it was a lot. It was in the hundreds, the times they've met. But, it shouldn't be a problem for Aaron Rodgers. Could be close. You know, it's division. Mitch is feeling it. It could be, I'd pick that from an upset of the week. I highly doubt it, but yeah. Patriots at Bengals. I got Brady is questionable. I think he said he's going to play. It's nothing to worry about.
That's just the Patriots being the Patriots.
Dude. Yeah. Somebody bumped his elbow, and Tom's like, I'm cool, man.
It's just Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick.
Well, I need a huge game. I need a huge game from Patriots defense. I want to see multiple touchdowns, picks, sacks.
They'll kick their ass.
It works, man. I need every single point I can get from Patriots defense and from Tom Brady. Hopefully he'll put up at least 20 points.
You won't get it from Brady, but you'll get it from the defense.
I don't have many options as far as quarterbacks in the free agency. I don't have any choice but to see what Brady can do. I mean, they're more than likely going to get out to a big lead and just run it out. But yeah.
Yep.
Seahawks at Panthers. Hopefully this will be a shit show, mostly because I have Tyler Lockett playing. I need him to go off, and good lord, he's been putting up goose eggs these past few weeks, man. It's really worrying, but and especially in playoffs. I was kind of listening to fantasy headliners, and he was like, "Look, now's not time to freak out and start trying new things. Like, go with your studs." And I like that advice. So I'm kind of gonna go with some of the people I started in the first game of the year, and hopefully he'll perform. The Panthers, that is the team you want to play, man, in the playoffs. I mean, for fantasy playoffs, they love giving up big plays. Hopefully Tyler Lockett just runs rampant. But, Seahawks should win it, no problem.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me is just being at Charlotte, but that doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah.
So, no one's Seattle.
I mean, the Panthers could put up a fight. I expect them to do something. I expect them to put up at least 17 points. If that, but yeah. Move on. Texans at
Seahawks are mad after losing.
At Titans. That's
probably the most intriguing game of the week in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
How you picking it?
I'll let you decide.
I don't know. You let me decide.
Yeah, I'll let you decide.
Let's go with Titans. Screw it. Yeah, they got better defense.
Yeah, I think they're on more of a run. Their momentum. Yeah, I like Tannehill. I like Derrick Henry stepping up. I mean, the Texans just looked. You just never know what you're going to get out of them. But I'd like the more consistent team and the Titans at home.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Texans go up by 2-3 scores. Deshaun could just decide to start playing. I mean, they beat the Patriots, but hopefully it'll be a closer game and the Titans will have a shot. I'd love to see the Titans in the playoffs, but
I would too.
Let's go and move on then. Dolphins at Giants. God, one of the crappiest games of the year, at least on paper. But I don't know who's going to win this one, man. I'll pick the Dolphins. They should be a better team than the Giants.
I can tell you what, we're going to lose by if we watch it. But I'm going with the Dolphins. Yeah, the Giants blew a 17-3 lead. Dolphins are at least playing competitive in each of their last like 5 or 6 games. So yeah, I'm just going to give it to the Dolphins.
All right, Eagles at Redskins, FedEx Field.
God damn it if the Eagles don't win, which I have a feeling they're not gonna. I got a feeling they're not gonna.
No, you're not picking the Redskins, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm leaning for it. Yeah, I'm leaning for it.
You're crazy, man.
Yep, I'm
you
going
should be
for
medicated.
it. Yep, I'm going for it.
I'm going for
Redskins
Eagles.
are riding high. They almost beat the Packers. They've won like 3 out of the last whatever. But yeah,
Okay.
the Eagles are looking shit. They ain't got nobody, dude. They got nobody on that team.
They can still do it, man. Yeah, I'm sticking with the Eagles.
I believe in them.
They probably should have been our donkey brain for almost losing that game last week, but Broncos at Chiefs. This has got to be a game of the week. I don't know. I mean, you got Rams at Cowboys, Colts, Saints. You got some great games this week.
Some undercover games. Nothing like
Chargers
really that stands out to you, but yeah, there's some good games.
Rams Cowboys stands out to me. Vikings Chargers stands out. Colts Saints stand out. Bills Steelers stand out. Like those are some good games.
Oh, they don't blow me out of the water though.
I'm just like
those are intriguing matchups, I think.
Yeah, there should be some really competitive games. But how you picking the Broncos Chiefs? It's at
that Arrowhead.
Chiefs play Arrowhead, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Chiefs. I know the Broncos will probably put up a pretty good fight, but ultimately I gotta think that just the Chiefs playing at home, it's hard to really beat them there. So I gotta think the Chiefs will win the game.
Hard to beat Patty Mahomes. Hey,
right.
Football. Bucks at Lions, or Bucks in Detroit. Should be an interesting game. Should be a lot of scoring. If you have fantasy players playing, man, play them all. Fuck it.
Just play everybody for
Tampa. Play the place kicker.
Barber, they don't run the ball.
Play the refs, man. Play everybody. The refs are probably gonna score some touchdowns. Like it's really these defenses just love to give up points.
Well, if you need oh my God, dude, Jameis Winston might throw for 600 yards in this game.
He really is. So you think he's gonna pull off the win?
Yeah, dude, I really think that Lions defense is dog shit. There's no way they're gonna get like 3 or 4 picks off them.
They just have so many more weapons on the Bucks team, so I'd have to give it to them. I think they'll come out.
He could throw for 50 times. He could throw for like 50 yards if he wanted to.
Good Lord.
I want to watch the game based on that, just to watch him tuck it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel you. I'm right there with you. Browns in Arizona. I want to pick the Browns, man, just because of their defense, but they've been such a donkey brain team this year. It's hard to, and I don't know. Cardinals have nothing to play for really at this point, so they might as well just huck it, chuck it.
They're not really playing for spoilers. It's not like the Browns are gonna make the playoffs. I mean, I think they're in the hunt somehow, but they're not making it.
I think the Browns will pull it off.
Yeah, I gotta think so. That Cardinals defense is not that good, and I think the Browns have it.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals upset them. But...
Me neither.
Next up, Jags in Oakland. Should be a really interesting game. They both really need a win. You need to quit dicking around.
Last game in Oakland.
Last game
in Oakland.
Okay, so maybe the Raiders are feeling it. They lost pretty bad last week. So, I'll go off. Well, it's not really a crazy pick. Yeah, I'll pick the Raiders, but
it's not a crazy pick, and the team needs to give the fans the proper goodbye. So beat the shit out of the Jaguars and move to Vegas. So there you go.
Sounds good.
Hopefully the Raiders will do that for them.
Okay. Vikings at Chargers. Vikings are pretty bad on the road, man. Philip Rivers coming off a great game.
Still got it.
Good Lord, this is a tough game. You think the Vikings still do it?
Yeah, I still do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers pulled off an upset, though. I wouldn't.
Oh, man, look at the running backs we got going head-to-head. You got Gordon Eckler going off against Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm.
What are, like, 2 of the best combo runnings, like, in the league right now, it seems like.
It's pretty good.
Oh, man, it should be a lot of fun. I need the Chargers to shut down Dalvin Cook playing against him. It's almost impossible, though.
He's at least going to get a touchdown in every game he plays, it feels like.
So, man, I'm so going to get housed or hosed this week. Ugh, first game of the playoffs. After such an incredible year, just to get blown out.
Good.
Ugh.
You do like a 2-week playoff thing, or is it like
Yeah.
a team of 2 weeks?
2 weeks, then consolation shit. Well,
Okay.
consolation's going on right now, but
Wow.
so you're picking the Vikings?
Yeah, I still like them.
I'm going with Chargers just for variety. So I think they can do it.
I'm into it.
Okay, so only ones that differ: the Eagles, Redskins, Vikings, Chargers. Next up, Rams in Dallas. Big game for the Rams. They need to win. Big game for Cowboys too. Shit, they all need to win.
Yeah, which team needs to win more, do you think?
Rams, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, because they're out if they lose again.
And yeah, it's not hard for the Cowboys to still make the playoffs. Eagles could lose this week, so I wouldn't be worried. But yeah, Jesus, Cowboys need to get their shit together. Oh, that's another. I love seeing that Gurley go up against Zeke. Usually Gurley is the one who outperforms when they've gone head to head in the past. But yeah, it should be interesting.
Not as intriguing as it once was, but still intriguing nonetheless.
I think the Rams will get out to a big lead, and Cowboys will have to fight back.
Yeah, Garrett will do a lot of clapping in this game. You can guarantee that one. How about that?
Yeah, so I'm picking the Rams. How about you?
Yeah, I got the Rams.
Yeah, Cowboys donkey brand of the year. Falcons at 49ers. I don't envy the Falcons coming off. Jesus, you see the Niners put up, what, 46, 48 points? Jesus.
48, yeah.
And
the defense for the Falcons is not that good, so.
No, even though they've been playing surprisingly well. Yeah, shouldn't be a question.
Start Samuel, start Kittle, start everybody.
Yeah, I'm starting.
Start them all.
I'm starting Debo. I need a huge game. Well, I need a huge game from everyone. You know this, but I need him to perform. Great pass or catch by Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know if you saw that 70-yard touchdown, whatever. Caught the ball. He had the wherewithal to get up and still run.
He's a talented guy, man. I mean, he doesn't get talked about enough as far as like being one of the premier receivers in the last like 5 to 10 years.
I don't know. I mean, ever since Peyton Manning left, you haven't really like considered him for fantasy, really.
Well, not really, but whenever I had him a few years ago, he was just dynamic as all get out. He was always posting
posting numbers, yeah. Yeah, incredible. I really thought in that play, the Saints players, because they were like right behind him. I thought they would get him down, but he still managed to get in the end zone. And they're feeling it, man. I would be scared to play the 49ers almost as much as the Ravens. Like, it'd be if the Ravens falter at all, if they lose a close game or anything, if they allow the Jets to put up 21 points, then I could move the Niners up to number 1. Because I definitely think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if you lose against the Jets on Thursday night, yeah, you could probably
No, I'm not talking about
that. I don't care.
No, I was saying if you let the Jets put up like 21 points, then I might consider moving the Ravens down and putting the Niners number 1. Because, I mean, especially if y'all play them again, it's going to be a revenge game, and the Niners aren't going to be fucking around. So, yeah, I'd be scared to play them. Yeah, sorry, Falcons. I think you guys are going to get hosed in this one. Bills at Steelers. I think the Bills can pull it off, man. It's going to be fucking tough, but especially against that Steeler defense. But what do you think? Prime time.
Tough matchup, man. Both teams got great defenses. It's going to be a low-scoring game. God, I'm going with the Bills. I hope the Bills win. I hope the Bills win.
Yeah, me too, man. I want to see them. I want to see them in the playoffs.
I want to see the Steelers out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Steelers are gonna fight for it, man. I hate to pick the Bills because I really think. All right, yeah, I'm gonna change my pick, man. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. They're fighting for the playoffs.
So are the Bills, though.
Yeah, but Steelers, I don't know. Like, and Mike Tomlin,
they can't afford to lose many more games, though.
Exactly. All the games they've won this year, I have to give it to the Steelers. I think they'll pull it off. But shit, hate to do it, but.
Nah, the Bills' defense will overwhelm that suspect Steelers' offense.
They just can't quit winning, man. It's a real problem in Pittsburgh.
God damn it. Fucking hate it.
Yeah.
You're a little irritant. God.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. That sore subject. Colts Saints. Colts in New Orleans. It'll be an interesting game, man.
Saints are gonna beat the shit out of the Colts.
Colts defense is not the defense they have been before, man. They're not too bad. I still think the Saints are going to win. I need Alvin Kamara to have a big game. Jesus, Latavius Murray has been outperforming him. Alvin Kamara has not caught a touchdown pass this season, man.
Wow. Or
if he has, it's only been 1 or 2. I mean, he's been really, really a big big bust this year. Still putting up 10, 15 points, but good lord, man. So yeah, we gotta pick Saints too. Hopefully Jacoby will have a good game.
Yeah, if you can put up 46 against the Niners defense, you should be able to put up 50.
Should, but
that's probably not going to happen. But
yeah, you got to give credit to the weapons that 49ers have and Jimmy Garoppolo's ability to get them the ball.
Yeah, they were just playing like catch up, or like they were just like going back and forth. So it was just
it's some backyard football, man. It was an incredible game. But yeah, so the only places where we differ:
Redskins and Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers,
Bills,
and
Vikings, Chargers.
Did you call the Chargers over the Vikings?
Yes, I did.
Right. There's the difference right there.
Okay, yeah, 3 for 3. All right, well, sounds good. Thank you everyone for joining us this week for our Week 14 recap and our Week 15 preview. Join us next week for our Week 15 recap and Week 16 preview. Last games of the season. Oh, I hate to hear it, man. Football, I love you so much. NFL football, specifically. I love you so much. I hate that you have to leave, but so we got the playoffs to look forward to. I can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, thank you for joining us again. So good night, good luck, and see you next week.